Hey family, thank you for tuning into Our Roots podcast with Joseph Baba Ifa. We're only the strongest roots see the light, brought to you by Botanica Candles and More. And if you haven't had the opportunity, hit that subscribe button. Phil, we are live.
We are live on a Sunday. What's going on? Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Definitely wanted to make this happen as the new year has come in and have the opportunity to interact with over 115,000 of our subscribers.
Wow, we're at 115,000 already?
Over.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to go live on your TikTok, but TikTok is saying...
TikTok's going through it right now. They're having a day. You know, we're trying to do the simultaneous thing. We're going to make it work, but TikTok, I guess, is back. You know, we'll see when it's operating at optimum efficiency soon. So
yeah, I wonder if that could be the reason.
Possibly, yeah. I'm sure they're working out the fine-tuning of things and the small print. But for anybody that was expecting a live on TikTok, forgive us. They didn't let us. So we're going to look into that for sure. But come back to YouTube.
Yeah, it just says unavailable.
Okay.
We'll try next time.
Absolutely.
Somewhere. But anyway, guys, say what's up. Oh, my goodness. Somebody just did something. They let off a big one.
Oh, God.
Shout out to this guy, Berniel. Oh, my goodness.
Bernieli, Boruboy Bochiche.
Wow. He dropped a honey?
Yeah, he does this from time to time. God bless him. My friend, I emailed you. If you have the opportunity, email me back. We want to, make sure you get all the information possible for supporting our channel the way you do. May Olo Dumare bless you as well, for sure. So if you didn't get that email, let us know, and we'll send another one so we can provide you with a bunch of good info and see how we can interact. Thank you.
All right, so let's get a little bit of the busy work out of the way first.
Okay.
So since you guys are watching on YouTube, this is the only place that I have it on live. Make sure you share it, obviously. Duh. But also, if you guys, we normally do this about an hour, right? If you want us to go a little bit longer, we set up a goal. If we get over 20 super chats.
Nice.
Because it does get a little chaotic in here sometimes with the comments rolling through. And also, if you are using a super chat, your questions go straight to the top. So remember that. So if you do want us to go an extra 30 minutes.
It's a $5 minimum, right?
Yep, $5 minimum.
Nice.
But real simple. So I mean, we already got 5 already within 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, guys, go ahead and drop where you're watching from, and go ahead and drop some of the questions. So we do already have some questions already.
Shout out to my kids. Hey, baby.
Yeah. So shout out to this person. They upgrade their membership.
Thank you very much. VRCC, etc. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, take a look at the top. There is a link. It's listed on the top of the screen. It says School of Joseph Baba Ifa.
Oh, great thing to touch on. Yeah.
You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, in commemoration of reaching 100,000 subscribers, thanks to you guys, we came out with this promotion for all of our members and anybody who wanted to be a part of it as well. We're doing a 4-week curriculum going over all the topics that uninitiated people are able to learn regardless of status or rank, beginning with songs, following with herbs, adimus, which are offerings, and then Yoruba vocabulary and terms. So we actually did our first rotations yesterday. I had 3 classes going over songs. Very positive, lots of people, really enjoyable, and a lot of growth that happened there. So if you're interested on really learning Ifa and Orisha in a studious academic way, our institution, our organization is here to serve, and a lot of people are going to get great results like they did yesterday, further on and foremost.
And heads up, if you click on that link, there is a promo code for 25% off. The code is IFA Class 101, not 101. So.
I believe actually VIPs get even more than that, so I don't.
What?
I heard they get even a bigger discount, so absolutely.
All right, so we got a lot of these super chats already.
Oh, Lordy.
So how do I even go look? I have to scroll through all these here.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. First one is from the Detox Lounge.
Okay.
They just said they just donated $4.99. So props to the Detox Lounge. And with Naylin Bonachea.
Okay.
$4.99 super chat. They didn't say anything. Remember, guys, if you have any questions, they'll come right to the top here.
Awesome.
Okay, they did ask one. So here we go.
Here we go.
Boom.
Bendiciones, Boru. Can you talk about the sign Okanawete or Moyemaya? Okana Irete, also known as Okanawete, is the Odu. There's a lot of really good information there. But the one that, sticks out is that is the Ifa of the puppet, right? And that Odu, in Spanish, it's la marioneta, which is basically the puppet that goes like this when it has the square and then the strings and then it kind of dances on the bottom. That's in Okanawete. And what Ifa says there is that the person has to be very careful to not be somebody else's slave or servant. The person should dabble in entrepreneurship and try to have their own establishment so they're not working for somebody forever. You never want to play the role of the puppet there because the puppet was utilized and abused and not made a priority. But it speaks of the importance of Egungun. The person should have their Egungun icon and delve into spiritism as much as they're able to. It's an Odu of dolls where the person's going to have a couple different ones that are going to represent different spirits in their court, and that's going to give them great results. But Okanawete, pretty famous Odu, very well-known Babalao, Lázaro Marchetti, may he rest in peace, was that Odu and really brought a lot of fame to it. But it's an Odu that speaks a lot about spiritism, spirituality, Egungun. The person has to develop their mediumship, and, Orisha and things like that will follow.
Okay. I'm still trying to go live on TikTok, but it's not working.
They took the day off. Blessings, Rob. Rob, let everybody know what you thought about the class, man. Thank you so much for being in attendance. OG.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Ogunbi.
Awesome. I've been reading on an ebo where Eshu is fed 3 heels with a rod to the wall. Any information on this? That's probably in the Odu of Otrubombirete or Obaradila, because that's the Odu where Eshu was holding the house up, and either Shango or the person didn't come back in time, and he let the house fall. So that's why you do the ebo like that. You put the rod and the heels. There's a certain verse that goes, and basically it's to maintain the stability of the house. That's why sometimes you walk into people's homes and they'll have Eshu with like an iron rod next to it. It's usually representative of those two Odus, but it can be marked pretty much anywhere.
Oh, that you or me?
I think that was me.
Okay. All right, people just saying what's up. We got Robbie McKenna.
Oboato, thank you so much, Iboru.
All right, we got Heal, Growth, and Glow.
Very nice. Boru Boya.
All right. Here you go, Trinity. Hey, look.
Trinity, do you get a sign or reading with Egungun? No. Egungun is not one of those Orishas where there's a divination involved. The major deities where a sign is pulled, apart from obviously Orumila or your guardian Orisha when you crown it, are deities like Odudua of Ifa, Olokun of Ifa, etc. of the Ifa deities. But Egungun does not carry a conversation. Your sign of Egungun is your sign of hand of Ifa. That's the same.
Okay. All right, let me see these other super chats here. The Detox Lounge, they finally got drop one, so here we go.
Boru, what does the sign Olokana translate to, and ultimately what path in life is meant for the person? So I've seen Olokana, I've seen Polokana. Whenever you see po or lopo or things like that, it's usually making reference to prosperity or quantity. Lo can mean leave. It also could say Oshe Polokana, where Oshe is the owner of Okana. There's a bunch of ways to translate it. As far as life path, it's really up to the person. If the gentleman has the criteria and qualities to become Babalawo, he should, because there's a very important ceremony there, if they have the desire to. If not, Oshe Polokana pretty much has an open path when it comes to spirituality, but it's usually going to involve Orisha or Ifa, mostly. That's where their focus is going to be. It might not be on Mayombe or Spiritism or any of those things. Oshe Polokana, if I don't mistake myself, is where Oshosi came down from heaven. So it speaks a lot about the Orisha process and also the Ifa process. So wherever you fall into either one of those categories, you're going to do fabulously. I like that Odu a lot.
Okay, all right, here we go. Trinity is cut off, so I'll tell you.
What's the difference between receiving a gungung and being a priest of Egung? What are the steps, and can a Babalao be
a priest of Egung?
Okay, receiving the Egungun icon is just the icon. It's almost like the washing concept, per se. To actually become a priest of Egungun is almost like if you were becoming a priest of Shango or any other Orisha. Can Babalawos become priests of Egun? In Isheshe, yes. If you have Ifa done or your Itelodu, Itefa, what have you, and you want to initiate into Idosu Egungun, you can. Over here, no. In Lukumi, no. Once you initiate into your Orisha, that's it. If someone wanted to initiate into a Gungun, they'd have to thus move forward with Isheshe because they're the ones who still have that information. And mind you, if you wanted to do Orisha Isheshe style and then do Ifa style Ifa, you can, or vice versa.
Okay. Hey, y'all, do me a favor. Click on that link. Tell me if the link works. Somebody, and then come back.
Oh, yeah, the link, yeah.
Because I clicked it, and I don't think it's working, so hold on. It's just doing the your main website, so we'll get that fixed. So just hang on.
TikTok is affecting everything. God
I
bless
know,
them.
man.
It's broken the internet.
All right, hang on. Here we go.
Viral Vibes, that's a candidate. Blessings, can you interpret the Odu Ofunsa Idea Shegunota Yale Tesi Shango? Okay. Now, mind you, I noticed you mentioned Shango at the end. Was this the Odu that Shango gave you in Ita? Or are you a child of Shango with this Odu in Ifa? Your hand of Ifa or Itefa? So that'll change it. So if they put another one, Phil, bring them back to the top just so I can get that clarity.
Okay. All right. So that was from Viral
Vibes.
Viral Vibes. Okay. All right.
Any patakis from Ogunache from Ngoim Finda. Ogunache, Ogunadashe Adia Fun Ogun. Ogun Adashe. It says that Ogun worked with the knife or the machete, Adifa Fun Ogun, that which was prophesied for Ogun. Ogunashe by nature is a very aggressive Odu. It's where Ogun first pick up the knife for either, aggressive reasons or spiritual reasons. So it's an Odu where the person has to be very careful with firearms, any type of weapons whatsoever. They should be armed, but they should do so, logically, to protect themselves. And it says that their spiritual practice is going to incorporate the knife in somehow, whether it be through sacrifice or having it as an icon. Your Ogun definitely needs a little bit of a bigger machete, I would say. And I see your names in Ngoim Finda, so it makes sense because, the machete, is in Ogun Nache as well. So if you're scratched, you're definitely on the right path, per se.
Okay, hold on. We're trying to fix this link here.
Take your time.
Cash Jones, $4.99.
Thank you very much.
China just became a member.
Awesome. Welcome.
Orlando saying what's up.
Oh, man.
Robert says yesterday's class was great and the singing was on point. That is what I asked you off camera. I was like, you did some singing? And he's like,
a little bit, a lot of chorus.
All right, here we go.
Any info on Yemaya Mayelewo? She's my mother. That's the Yemaya that lives at the bottom of the ocean together with Olokun. That's Olokun's wife. They say that she was the one who consoled Aganaeri, who was Olokun's daughter, after Orisha Ogo embarrassed her by exposing her elephantiasis condition to the whole marketplace. She is the one with the deep blue beads, and she's the one most closely related to Olokun. You can find information on her in the Odu Obara Odi or Obara Dila, amongst others, like Iwori Osaso as well, where she actually was Olokun's administrator or accountant.
Okay. Viral Vibes just became a member.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, people saying it was a beautiful class.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. All right, I'm trying to do several things at once here. Let me go back to the chat. We got a lot more chats, super chats.
How many people in the chat, brother?
I will tell you.
Awesome.
Let's take a look here. Hold on. I'm on a different menu. YouTube, we got 106 people.
Holy smokes. Wow. Nice. Hello to everybody. Happy Sunday.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so Juju Wagunda Yakun.
All right.
Got one. There we go. Take a look at that one.
Awesome. Can I email you about receiving Egung after my year in white? Absolutely.
Hold on. Before you even continue.
Okay.
He gifted 5 memberships.
Oh, man. Juju. Beast.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, we're halfway to the goal.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But absolutely, you can email me. If you want to email me beforehand, you're able to email whenever you like. And if you wanted to coordinate that step, we're here to serve. We do it very frequently. It's a process that we're very versed in and we enjoy doing. And it provides exponential results for the people who receive it. It's a life-changing deity, for sure.
All right, so we got Bree. There you go.
Thank you, Bree. Blessings. Any advice, Pataki, on people trying to provoke you? Ooh. Absolutely. Well, that goes back to Obeyono or Obesuru. In that sign, Orumila's wife tried to get him to break character so she would have a reason to get rid of him, like she had gotten rid of so many men who were trying to court her before. When Orumila knew he needed patience with her based on Ifa's advice, he wouldn't give in. And what ended up occurring is that she took the final straw and went to visit his mother's grave, and in front of him defecated on top of it.
What?
And Orula was about to, flip out, but he remembered Ifa told him suru, or patience. And when he didn't react with anything other than, I understand, honey, it's okay, she realized she would never find a man as patient as him, and she immediately apologized and turned all of her excrement into money and jewels, and she begged her father to allow her to marry Orula, and Orula ended up becoming the king of the land of Iwo. So this Odu is the perfect example of how we're supposed to act with people who are trying to get us out of character. Through your patience, you'll get them out of their character, make them look foolish, and allow them to eliminate themselves. Don't allow people to get you out of your character unless you have to physically defend yourself based on them invading your space. Regardless of whatever they have going on, if you don't respect somebody's space, things can happen. But other than that, let them do it to themselves and you'll be just fine.
Is this a redo? Because this is from Viral Vibes.
I would like your interpretation on Funsaire. Yeah, so what happened was we asked, is that from their Ita of Shango in Orisha, or is that their Odu of Hand of Ifa or Ifa as a child of Shango? Two different interpretation. So if you could clarify, is that from your Ita of Orisha, or is that from your Hand of Ifa or Ifa, depending on your position?
Okay, all right. Here we go. Boom.
Bomani, Chado Ogun checking in. May Ogun clear your path roads from all obstacles, challenges, and debris. Likewise, thank you.
We got a lot of these. So, okay, Glide, what's up?
Hey, thank you, sir.
All right.
Boya.
Here you go.
Some Vic. From Shannon Torres, can you speak on Odishe for the Omoy Legua? Once again, is it from your Hand of Ifa? Is it from your Eshu Ita? And guys, the reason I'm being very nitpicky about it is because if it's in the Orisha Ita, Odishe or Ofunsa doesn't exist. You have Odi or Ofun, which is what I'll interpret. Now, if it's from your Hand of Ifa or your Ifa, then I'll be able to go into Odishe or Ofunsa, which is a compound Odu, because if I respond Ifa-centrically to an Orisha-centric question, I'm going to confuse you. And it's not going to hit the same, or vice versa. So if you could just clarify that, we'll bring you right back to the top.
Okay. All right. Boom.
Romelo, can you give me some advice with my Odu or Shesa, or Soboarun, or Moya? Absolutely. Okay, Oshesa, if I recall correctly, Oshesa speaks of the parrot. And in that Odu, the parrot was beautiful, and some people became very jealous of it. And because of it, they did witchcraft, being that the parrot didn't perform sacrifice because he became a little bit arrogant. And they did the witchcraft to his feet, causing his feet to become contorted and, basically disabled. And that's why that Odu speaks of the aspects of the health, whether it be from an orthopedic standpoint, podiatry, the feet, the joints. You have to be very careful with your joints, connective tissue, spine, but the feet there are huge. And the reason I touch on this aspect is because Osoboarun or Ayewoarun is negativity of sickness or deterioration that could lead to a lack of function. And if our feet aren't working, we're not functioning. So that Odu, has specific remedies for that. So be careful with negativity, people trying to curse you, and make sure you perform at Bo so that you can avoid those things.
All right. It's from China.
Until I'm able to get our Hand of Ifa, what are some practices me and my 3-year-old can do is honoring our Ori each
morning. Okay.
Absolutely. You wake up, you face the east. First words you say of gratitude. You manifest your invocations positively, and then you go about your day. Really the best thing to do before the Hand of Ifa is meditation. To be frank with you, there really aren't any prep steps towards Hand of Ifa because women are supposed to receive it at 7 days old and men at 9. So anybody after that, just try to, be as organized with your saving. Possibly go the spiritual route. I recommend spiritual coachings with my wife for the Boveda class so you can set up a legitimate spirit altar to help you delve deeper into yourself spiritually and find out who your guides are and build those connections. That'll make the Hand of Ifa much more smoother for all parties involved.
Okay. All right. People are saying the cloud. The cloud. The class.
The class, awesome. I got son Alex, man. Baru.
All right, let's go see if I can find some of these other super chats that I missed. Let's see here. A lot of people have.
What do you think about this choker, Phil? Huh? Switched it up today.
I do like that.
Yeah, with the Miami choker. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we got that. Okay, I think we're good. So, but we're at 11, so we are almost there.
Very nice.
Here we go.
Can I make my own ajay and have a priest bless it, or I receive it? Thank you. No. No self-initiation, none of the above. That has to be completely constructed by someone who has received ajay. Orisha ajay is the property of babalawos to be confectioned upon people based on the odu of Obe Ori Ogunda. And she is Orumila's wife. That's why the babalawos are the ones who give ajay. Absolutely. You are not able to compose the icon and then just give it to the babalao to mount, because you shouldn't have that information ideally anyway. And even if you did, you wouldn't know how to incorporate it because you've never been through the process and seen a legitimate ceremony, or shouldn't have. So short answer, no.
Okay. All right. A lot of people are saying thank you for the class.
Thank you guys for being present.
Okay. He says the link works. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
All right. So this one is long. It's from Maria C. So let me see if I can find it on my laptop screen. A lot of comments. Oh, wait. Hold on. I think I missed one. Here we go. Did you answer that one?
We touched on Juju. We haven't touched on redemption. No,
Yeah,
Boru
redemption.
Boya, what advice could you give an Omo Ogun with Osaka and the Hand of Ifa? The class was awesome yesterday. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
We're at 12, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah, Osaka for the child of Ogun, that's actually a pretty common combination, even though Osaka doesn't come out that frequently. I have heard of a couple children of Ogun with that Odu. I mean, honestly, Osaka is somebody that really can do what they wish. I mean, one thing that Ogun manifested there was the tattoo needle. Ogun was actually the first tattoo artist, being that he was the one with the metal implements. And in that Odu is where they tattooed the tear under the clown's eye when his mother died. So it's the Odu of tattooing where Ogun, in his artistry along with his tools was able to manifest that on skin. Ultimately, the person can really do whatever they want. If you want to practice Mayombe, do that. If you want to initiate into Ogun, do that. If you want to be a Babalao, if you have those qualities, do that. If not, do whatever you do to the best of your ability. But Osaka doesn't have any limitations, in my opinion. Egungun is very important there, and ancestor worship is extremely important because in that sign was where the clown started honoring the spirit of his mother.
All right, so I was doing some reading.
Okay.
I try and do several things at once because, ow, I just hit my leg.
Oh, gosh.
I try and do several things at once. So apparently with TikTok, we're still not able to go live yet.
Oh, okay. You did your research already.
TikTok just came back, but the app is still gone on the stores. In the app stores. CapCut's still gone.
What does CapCut have to do with all this?
Well, CapCut's owned by TikTok.
Oh, Lord. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah. Can't go live on TikTok for now, but I want everyone to take a look at the chat here. I put a meter, so there's time meter. So we only had 13. So we got about 5 minutes left before we can.
5 minutes, guys.
Not the episode. We're not ending in 5 minutes.
No, just
goal.
in case we want that extra half hour.
All right, so get your super chats in. I'm still trying to answer it. I saw Trinity. I saw you dropped one. Let me go see if I can find it here.
Awesome.
Okay, at the bottom. Did we do one from Dawn?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
Bendición, my guardian is Chango. What do you suggest for learning more while I save for Ocha? I have elekes, warriors, and Egun. I recommend receiving your Hand of Ifa. Without the Hand of Ifa, Orisha cannot be assimilated to the best of its ability. So especially being an initiate in the future of Shango and knowing the relationship that Shango has with Ifa and Orumila, the best way to prepare for Orisha while you're saving for it is to invest some of those funds to receive your Hand of Ifa with a competent Ifa priest.
Got it. All right, this one's from Ed.
Ed, I'm an hijo de Badalá with the sign Iret en Telu. Any advice? Gracias. In that Odu, the person has to be very careful with alcohol and condimented food. In that sign, Obadala's stomach was ravaged by spices and things like that, and they made his life very uncomfortable. In one version, he died from it. In another version, Obatala there would indulge too much in alcohol, thus costing him his life as well. So that Odu says you have to be very careful with those two materials or substances. And other than that, Ireten Telu is a blessed sign. If the person wants to become Babalawo and they have the qualities, please do. That's where Odumila married his favorite wife, Odu, and all they did was birth Babalaos. So if not, the person could, delve into whatever aspects they want within Orisha and Ifa. It's not an Odu that speaks a lot about Mayombe. It's not saying it's prohibited, but, it might not be, necessary. It's a very spiritual Odu. It speaks of Egun Awo, which are the spirits of the Babalawos. You have all those options. But if you can, please do Ifa with Ireten Telura Tebe or Irete Umbe More.
All right, here we go. This is Trinity's.
Trinity. Advice on la letra del año for Yekun Biga almost Shango. I feel there's an emphasis on Egun and Bata based on my goals. Definitely Shango there just had to work hard towards his goals. And that sign, Shango and Edibere specifically, wouldn't work as hard, and because of it, he had good results, but he wasn't living the life he could have been. So for all the children of Shango this year, this is the year to really grind. So do so.
All right, so Viral Vibe sent another one here regarding what you said.
All right, apologies. Can you speak in Ofung for an Hijo de Chango? Share up aquí so I understand the messages to me. Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Thank you for the clarification, so I give you the best advice possible. The Odu of Ofung in the Erindi Logun Oracle speaks obviously of the neck. The word Ofung means neck, first and foremost. So it speaks about any affliction that could affect this. So you want to be careful thyroids. You want to be careful, God forbid, choking on something, restricted airways, breathing, asthma, cigarettes, ideally a no-no. Anything that has to do with that, allergies, be very careful. It also speaks of the bath of Mewa, right? The word Mewa means 10, and Ofung is number 10 in the Erindi Logun. This Odu says that ideally the person should find a competent professional to perform it for them. It's a secret bath, so I can't mention it now, but it's a lifesaver, and I've seen it happen multiple times. Unfortunately, it's an Odu that speaks of cancer and unregulated mitotic growth from a cellular standpoint. So the person has to lead a healthy lifestyle, active lifestyle, try to fast to, lower the chances of ultimately contracting this. Ofung means I give too much. Please don't be as generous as you are, and try to maintain a healthy relationship with your neighbors, because I believe in Ofung in the shell. This is not in Ifa. This is in the shell. There's the story of when Shango, Ogun, and Osang were neighbors, and they all tried to kill each other. So you have to be very careful to maintain positive, healthy relationships with your fellow spiritual family and people you live around and your social circles to avoid war and conflict. Ofung.
All right, I didn't know YouTube can do this. I can highlight the comment like that.
Ah, there we go. Oboato Ashure, can you provide info for an Omo Chango with Yodu Otura Bara? Specifically info involving a Gungung and aligning with Ori. Okay. Otura Bara, right? It says that Otura Obara. Otura is the king of the land. So specifically it's referencing Shango immediately. It's saying that the person is meant to initiate into the ancestral mysteries of the Orisha that was identified for them. So if you're a child of Shango, being that you guys were born with the crown already, you have to fulfill that spiritual debt. There is a story here in Otura Bara where Obadala was king and his son Shango was the prince. And Shango had a habit of consuming a lot of a certain type of herb known as cannabis.
Oh.
And the herb would bother Obadala severely. And Obadala would tell Shango, please don't smoke it around me. Don't come to my house smelling like that. I don't judge you. It's a plant, but it's not for me. So respect my home. And Shango didn't, because Shango is Shango. And Obadala abandoned him. And when he did, Shango and the rest of the people in the village started going horribly, because everybody was too busy consuming cannabis and no one knew how to direct a village like Obadala did. So Shango knew Obadala wasn't going to talk to him, so he prayed to Eshu to go find them. Eshu found them, and Obadala said, I'll deal with them as long as they don't smoke around me. It bothers me. So Obadala came back, and people had a smoking section, and everybody was happy. And then when Obadala transitioned many decades later, Shango always appreciated and loved his father and was able to become king himself. So this Odu says that the person is meant to go through priesthood initiation rites if they desire and have a vocational calling. If they have the qualities, become Babalawo. If not, there's a great path for Oriate there as well, because that's the Odu where, what is it? Eshu Laboni first went into the Ibodo, which is the room of Orisha. So you have both options there. So it's really up to you and which one you like more. Do you want to throw the shell or do you want to pull Iking? It really comes down to that.
Okay. All right. I'm still can't find this one comment. Maybe they just...
Phil, TikTok's guys going through it today,
bro.
Man. It's crazy energy.
Maybe they deleted their comment on YouTube.
Oh, gosh.
But I can't... Because it's on my tablet.
That's wild.
But it's so long, I don't... It's cut off. So,
man.
Maria C., you left a comment. You left two. I'm trying to... Found it.
There we go.
Ha-ha! I'm smart. All right, you ready?
Yeah, like the movie The Godfather. I'm smart.
I'm smart. Yeah, here you go.
All right, then. Maria C. Can you speak on Olokun more? I believe he came to me in a dream. He was in male mermaid form with a crown and trident. I researched this image and found Lord, I want to say Agwe, but I'm not Haitian, so I continued. Yes, the link works to search and just found the images of Olokun with a trident and crown today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He comes in like siren form. And that's really the reason we'll never know what his gender is, because, the bottom half of a mermaid, it's a bunch of scales. You really don't see nothing else, thankfully.
Can I stop you for a second?
Sure.
141 people are watching.
Oh, wow. God bless you guys. Thank you so much, man. Put it this way. If we can get 4 more super chats, we'll do the half hour anyway. I know we're past time. Phil, he's a stickler for things, but I'll override him. And if we get it before the hour, we'll go an extra half hour just because I think that's a record.
Well, it's okay. I'll just charge you for it. That's okay.
Yes, sir. As you should. This is going to help me pay for Phil. Guys, it's hard. It's real hard over here. Jeez. You bring this guy lunch and oh my gosh.
I'm playing with you. All
and
right.
Anywho, with Olokun, he can come represented like that. The Orishas can come any way they choose in dreams. The dream aspect is interesting because the ocean, believe it or not, and the moon and things like that can affect, dreams and whatnot, depending on your proximity. I mean, you might be a child of Olokun. If you have hand of Ifa, let's delve into your Odu. If not, receive your hand of Ifa, and then, the path will become clearer.
All right, here we go. This is from Juju Ogundoyakun.
Awesome. Any information about a child of Olokun Yumaya with pets? I can't have a dog, and I'm allergic to cats. I was thinking about a parrot, but I'm not sure. Yeah, get the parrot. That's fine. African gray is ideal. Get them from young, though, because they're so smart. If you get them a little later, they might not assimilate you. But, yeah, get a parrot, especially, I think that'll be beautiful. And the beautiful thing is, once the feathers fall out, you can save a couple of them. You never know what the use could be. Because that's the thing with the feathers. They can never be plucked, because at that point they're cursed. But as the feathers fall, you can collect them. So, absolutely. And ironically, Olokun in the Odu, because someone earlier mentioned Oshefolokana, and this is also in the Odu of Obeshe, where Olokun wanted a crown, and the person that just commented about Olokun and the crown, it was ironic because the person identified in Ifa mythology to have the most expensive crown ever, other than Olodumare, of course, was Olokun. And that was because Orumila actually had a servant, which in some versions was Osaing, in some versions it was Oshosi, that was able to hunt the feathers for Olokun's crown for when they crowned him, and it was the most glorious thing ever. So, yeah, the parrot for sure. I like that.
Okay. All right, here we go. Another one.
The Babalawo I used did not go into depth on my Odu, and I'd like a better understanding. Can I get a clean reading from another Babalawo? So here's the thing. You don't need another reading, but you can get another interpretation. We have the Odu interpretation service, which apart from providing an hour and a half of completely uninterrupted information on your Odu and your language of choosing, we also provide you all that information as well digitally in the language of choosing. So it's a pretty high value service because apart from that, you'll have the opportunity to consult me if you ever have any doubts on your sign or whatnot. We make ourselves available as much as we can. So it can provide a lot of clarity. Some people really appreciate it with us, that do it with us.
Okay, we got another one here. Here we go.
Holy smokes. All right. If you did your elekes ceremony without having the hand of Ifa, should you stop wearing the elekes until you receive the hand of Ifa? Absolutely. And you may even want to stop wearing them after your hand of Ifa, because before you initiate into Orisha and receive deities, you should not be wearing any necklaces of the deities you have not received. So I recommend, there's a video on the channel called Elekes, Do I Need Them? And they're actually, in that video, I touch on a pataki from the Odu of Obekana, which was one of the letters of the year, of the many that came out this year, where Ileke and Orisha were married, and Orisha came to earth first, and then Ileke rested upon the chest. So it's saying that to be able to wear a necklace, you have to have the Orisha first, period. Now, in the New World, with the Regla de Ocha, the collares were instituted to kind of organize things and pay homage and be a stepping stone towards Santo. But, you know, to each his own how they maneuver their house. We don't provide that initiation because we've noticed that a lot of people, when they get it done, things go worse, because it's actually a way of tying some body down and, you know, really hyper stimulating the person to the point where they feel forced or rushed to perform Orisha. So the only necklace you need before crowning Orisha is Orumilas. And in my house, I permit the person to wear the single beaded necklace of their Orisha. Even though they don't have their Orisha, the energy kind of, you know, resonates around them. And, you know, sometimes people are going to do it anyway, so I'm not going to stop it. But a single threaded bracelet or necklace of their Orisha, I'll permit in my house as well. But other than that, you shouldn't be wearing anything.
All right, so I skipped somebody on accident. My fault. Epitome of subtle sublimity.
Okay, that's a name.
It sounds like a rap verse.
Yeah, word. Epitome of subtle sublimity.
Yeah,
it's like a big pun.
Yeah,
with the little Italy. Word. I'm new here. Welcome. That's great. My first consultation you did for me, and I got the sign Osheo D. What advice do you have for me to do next while I don't have the funds right now for offerings or a bowl? If you don't have the funds for any of those things, completely understandable. Whatever you can save towards your hand of Ifa is going to be ideal. Well, while saving for your hand of Ifa, possibly going through a mentorship spiritually might be ideal and is much less costly, or even having a boeda established for you, or for you to be able to learn how to do it from somebody such as my wife, is going to be very ideal, because you're going to get a bunch of benefits and be able to occupy a bunch of time productively without the, you know, supreme investment of any of the larger ceremonies. And meditation, you know, healthy active lifestyle, you know, try to go to the gym, you know, try to work on yourself and build yourself. And, you know, we have classes as well. Books may be on the way soon, family. Until then, you know, I encourage Baba Popola's information on ifalinks.com. God bless him, because it's really good stuff. And whatever you can garner from the channel, you know.
All right. Here we go. I don't understand this one, but here you go.
Can you talk about 7-5 in Ochun Ololodi? So, thank you so much for the super chat. The way we interpret the Erindi Logun, the second letter is a ghost throw. Because that's what it is. So the number 7 in Oshun, or the number 7 of Odi in Oshun, says that the person has to be very careful with their health, right? The word Odi literally makes reference to the bottom half of the body, specifically the buttocks. So this Odu says that the person has to be very careful how they eat, what they ingest and put in their body, and make sure that they're putting the healthiest things in there, because it speaks of digestional or digestive issues throughout the body that could cause ulcers, you know, deterioration of the lining, GERD, reflux, you know, anything that could happen using the bathroom, you know, God forbid, you know, any type of ruptures there, or any type of, you know, blood or anything of that, hemorrhaging or anything of that sort. So that Odu makes a lot of reference to, you know, gastrointestinal health for sure in our digestive system. So you have to be careful with that.
All right, here we go. Oh, wait. Did you already do? Hold on. Did you already do this one? Whoops.
The black sage. No.
What?
I don't think so.
There we go.
Yes. Yeah, I did that one on Otura Bara.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, that was the last super chat. We got Hector Hernandez dropped a 199 super chat. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, let's go back to the regular comments here.
Awesome. Here we go back to the top.
And remember, guys, super chats obviously go ahead. I mean, we got 155 people watching right now.
Oh, gosh, it went up. Share the video, like the video. You know.
Remember, click on the link at the top. Did I take it off or is it still there? It's not pinned, so I'll put it back up for the class. Let's see here. My computer's being silly.
Take your time.
All right, let me hit paste, and there we go. All right, try that again. If it just takes you to the console, you can click on the class through the console. It says it there. So let me pin that back up. And also buy my coffee. No,
yeah. What's in it? Tell them the name of the coffee and everything, Phil, for sure.
I'll put a link in there, but it's just podcastfuelcoffee.com.
Oh, good stuff.
Let's see here. All right, message is pinned, and it looks like Marco Antonio Rodriguez has gifted 5 IFA memberships.
Holy smokes, Marco.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, so answer the one above it, though.
Oh, the Black Sage. Can you speak on the veneration for Osang and Isheshe? I want to answer the question. I really do. I implore you, send another question in and we'll treat it as it's a super chat. Just based on my Lukumi concepts of Osang, I can't really delve into how to attend to him because to do so is to betray the oath that I took when I received him, and it was a very, very painful process. So, I hold that very close to me. But please put another question and I'll answer it immediately as if it was a super chat. Or if you want to do any IFA coaching, apart from the question, if you want to do any IFA coaching and go over how to take care of Osang on both sides of the world, we can go over that as well. But please put another question immediately and we'll treat it the same.
So Heal Glow Growth said they didn't hear their questions. There was a super chat. So let me find it. Let's see. I mean, we got like 400 comments. So let me scroll through here.
Sheesh.
My computer is glitching. All right, here we go. Did you ask that question in the beginning?
Which one?
No, she said.
Oh,
your question was skipped. So let me see if I can find it. Okay, so scrolling. While you're doing that, here read.
Alafia, I found out my sign is Osameji. Can you comment on the complications and triumphs of this Odu? Well, we're going to be recording that Meji very soon, being that we just got done with Okana Meji and Ogunda Meji following, and ultimately yours. The most important thing in Babao Sameji is to perform Ipeshe, or food to the elders of the night, or the Iyamio Shoronga. If you do this, you will have a fabulous life. If you do not do this, you may not. Because these diabolical energies, if they're not appeased in that Odu, because Osameji is constantly being chased by the Iyami, if there isn't something semi-frequent there for them, it's an issue. So you need to get with your Babalawo and see if you can set up a plan to where you can perform Ipeshe monthly. Seems a little frequent, but you really want to have that rotation going so that you can just keep them away, right? So Ipeshe for Osameji. Eleseye Meji. Very nice Odu.
All right, I'm still looking for their question. Drop it back in the.
If you could ask it again or copy and paste it, that way it goes back to the top.
Yeah, just so I can see it, because it appears that YouTube has cut the comments in half because there's been so many.
Oh wow.
All right, so we got a 999 one.
No, thank you.
Now that's 16 to 20. That was just for the goal. We way past that.
Oh, okay.
So
there we go. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Here we go. Iboru boya, best advice for an awo turabara or more dudua. Absolutely, my brother. Really big fan of your Odu. Big fan of your guardian Orisha for sure. Trying to think right now. There's a couple things in Oturabara because I've studied the Sheshe paperwork on it as well. Because that Odu actually came out for me in a very critical moment in my life, so I really delved into it. And Oturabara has a couple things. First and foremost, in Oturabara is where the shark became the king of fish. It's why the shark has never had to evolve. So even though it's good to take advice from other people, you always want to really hold fast to your customs and your concepts, virtues, and morals and ethics, because people may try to sway you out of them for their best interest rather than yours. The shark is perfect. The only thing the shark has to know when to strike and when to yield. Everything is about tact when you have that much influence. Another thing in Oturabara is it was identified that it is a crime for one babalawo to withhold information from a brother based on ego, Like, for example, if a brother, and the brothers that have actually, pulled that card and reached out to me, they know they get responded to very quickly. Like, for example, I had a brother reach out to me recently so I could provide him the songs for Shango to be able to apply the cornmeal, and I provided all of them with translation, audio, etc. Because the Odu Oturabara states that when one Babalawo asks for information and that brother has it and doesn't relinquish it reasonably, the person that has it, Orumila actually plays with their mind to where they stop memorizing things. And that's in your Odu. Another very important point in Otura Oba is the Orisha Osain. There's a story there that speaks heavily about Osain's relationship with his mother. I think her name was Ibowere. And it's very, very key because there's certain concepts there that kind of resonate with Odua. Can't get too much in detail. But Osain is going to be a paramount deity for you. Obviously, apart from your guardian Orisha and, those to come. But big fan of that Odu. And the King of Four Eyes was born there. Eshu Laboni is key. Having Eshu Laboni there is key. Regardless of your Eshu path, you definitely want to mount an Eshu Laboni. And, ideally, as many four-eyed king as possible. Boruboya, brother.
Okay, you may have said this one already. I'm trying to find things. Did you read this one?
That's the one we just answered.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, from Leobardo.
Okay, all right. Hang on. We got Natasha is a new member.
Awesome.
Shouts to, and then we got this one from Daisy.
Here we go, Aboru Aboye. Can you share any information on the Odu Okana D? Thank you in advance. Okana D's focus needs to be love. And money and success and all those things will find them afterwards. The most important thing is to be with the person that you're absolutely in love with and is your best friend. If you can accomplish this, everything else will follow. In this sign, Ogun was a blacksmith, but he saw that Orisha Ogo was making money selling yams, so he's like, I'm going to sell some yams. And he did horribly. And he lost the blacksmithery in the process. He went to visit Orumila. Divination was performed. Okana D was revealed, where Ifa said he needed to perform sacrifice at the river. When he did this, he met Oshun, and they became very attracted to each other. This is actually one of the Odus where Oshun and Ogun did get married. Everybody's like, yo, Ogun never dated Oshun. That's not true. There's various Odus where they were married, such as Obeate and this one. And they started talking, and, she started getting to know him and vice versa. And she said, you have a lot of talent. I don't know why you tried to sell yams. You could have just made different types of tools if you got tired of just making bowls and things like that. He's like, well, I never thought about that. And to be honest with you, I really don't like people. So, I need somebody to help me sell. And she's like, well, I'm in sales. And they actually incorporated their business together. And Ogun started making, different things and selling them. And Oshun was the one who would sell them for him. And they became very lucrative to the point where he started constructing weapons. I forgot the Yoruba word for gun. I don't know if it's there's one way of saying it and then there's another, but there's a verse for the gun in Okana D from an Isheshe standpoint, and then in the Lukumi paperwork it speaks of when Ogun confectioned the gun. Akoko ni igi or something of that nature. And basically you see the correlation between both traditions in this Odu, and they lived very happily. And they were very lucrative and they had children and everything was wonderful. So, but if they would have focused on money, that would have never happened. They focused on love, and they grew together, and everything was lovely. So, all about the love. Focus on love.
All right, I found Heal, Grow, and Glow.
Holy
with
smokes,
LaShawn.
the missing link.
All right, here we go. I'm putting it on the screen here.
I have my hand of Ifa. I wanted to know a little more about my Odu, Oyekun Ofun, also known as Oyekun Bedura. Orumila is my Orisha.
All right, you gotta look them right in the camera because we're talking right to them.
Okay, awesome.
Because I searched, I found it.
Awesome, yeah. The Odu Oyekun Bedura states that it is better to have a clean heart than all the gold in the world. And that sign, it speaks of a gentleman who was very greedy. And all they thought about was money. But it got to the point where the money wasn't, how do I put this? They weren't using the money as a means to an end. They were just trying to get money at this point and do nothing with it. They just wanted to be able to say, I had money. They were frustrated in that regard. And there was a situation where Eshu wanted to tempt a person's character to see to what point they were willing to take their greed. And in that Odu, the person sacrificed a person's life to be able to make $1. Like a business deal where, hey, you can make $1 million off this deal, but, this person, we're going to completely level their house, or, I'm going to skimp on some of the, requirements and not make this building as safe as possible. And people died as a result of it. So he had all the money in the world, but he never forgave himself for that after he snapped out of it. So this Odu says that money isn't everything. What money can bring us is, because that's usually what we want or what we most need. But always remembering, money is not worth our conscience.
It's not. It's not.
Oh, no.
All right. Okay, so let's scroll back up here. See, if you have a super chat and I missed it, please let me know in the comments so I can go back to find it. So, but it looks like we got Marco Antonio Rodriguez. He's been a member, by the way.
Oh, Marco Antonio is the best.
For 22 months.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. OG for sure. And just if you guys are interested in the altar class as well, that's the link to that as well, I think Boroyo was saying.
There. I just put it right back up there. So there you go.
Awesome.
But there you go. Marco Antonio's got a question.
Can you please tell Pataki from the Odu Irete Ofun? Thank you. In the Odu of Irete Fun or Irete File was where Orumila had a son that was disobedient. And Orumila told him to prepare himself spiritually because he was going to become a drummer. But the son didn't listen. And he went to the drum and he became a slave of the drum because his god siblings were jealous of his prowess musically. So when Orumila saw this, he put a specific piece of jewelry around his son's ankle, and it's known as the sajuero. And through that, he was able to break the curse and come about his wits and start drumming independently with a new group and overcome the situation he had been through. But from that point forward, Orumila's son was obedient, and he wore said piece of jewelry or accessory. So Irete File says that the person needs their hand of Ifa as soon as possible, and they need to be obedient with what Orumila says rather than trying to figure everything out on their own.
Okay. All right, so I was informed that I did miss a couple, so let's go back. Hector, here we go. I think this was yours.
Hector Hernandez, can you speak about the Odu Otruponcana? Otruponcana speaks about, once again, when Eshu or why Eshu should live outside. It's the famous pataki. This pataki is found in a couple different Odus, Okana Mei, Okana Trupon, and Otruponcana.
I remember this one.
The one where Eshu was having a free-for-all in Obatala's house. When Obatala wasn't home, Obatala walked in on him and kicked him out of the house. So that Odu is one of the ones why Eshu lives outside. The person has to be home as much as possible to maintain the spiritual stability in their home. And that Odu speaks of the importance of being armed or having a proper security system. Unfortunately, it's an Odu of burglary or assault. It is a little bit aggressive. Ebo is very important there to be able to deflect witchcraft, negativity, and avoiding situations that we have to handle personally and allowing the Orishas to handle things. Because Otruponcana goes through a lot of conflicts and confrontations, and it gets to a point in life where there's no way we're going to be able to address everybody that steps to the plate. So you got to allow Orula to handle it, do your Ebo, and keep making money.
All right. Colby said I missed one, but I can't find it. So Colby, go ahead and repaste it so I can. You don't buy another super chat.
No, please, no.
Just repaste it so I can scroll through and find it here. Okay. So I apologize if I missed it, but all right. So okay, here we go.
What can you tell me about Obakolaba or Obakolaba? It's a deity. It's received. I believe it's in the Odu of Salafobeo, if I'm not mistaken. Children of Shango usually receive it. Babalawos usually receive it. Refer back to your elders. Yeah, but I believe that's in the Odu of Salobe.
Okay. All right, we got another super chat. Boom!
Here we go. Giovanni. Omo Batala, can you tell me about my Odu Iroso Iwori, which is also Iroso Uiro? In that Odu of Iroso Uiro, it speaks of the importance of knowing how to parent. In that Odu, even though it doesn't speak about Batala specifically, in this case, it speaks of Odudua. And Odudua had a son named Agayu, and...
Oh, he was an angry guy.
Yeah, but he was a baby here.
Okay.
So Odudua loved his son very much and didn't want his son to feel any pain, so he would carry him everywhere. Well, Agayu started getting very big, and Oduduwa's health started suffering from it. You know, he was having back problems, and he visited Orula. Iroso Iwori was revealed, where Orula said, at some point, you're going to have to put the boy down. Everybody has to feel pain if they want to progress, you know? So in one version, he never did, and Oduduwa died, and Agayu wasn't able to take care of himself. And that's when he became the volcano because he wasn't able to move. In another version, you know, Oduduwa listened. He allowed Agayu to go through his process while helping him as well. And because of it, Agayu actually became the most agile terrestrial Orisha ever. Agayu Shola. They say that can be loosely translated to my eyes see everything because he's the mountain, the volcano, and they say he would be able to walk a continent in one step. So Hiroso Wido says we have to know how to parent in a way where we're not inhibiting our children's progress based on our own traumas and fears, which is a big thing to overcome, you know, if you've been through some stuff. So, very important.
Yo.
What happened?
Yo, chat. Okay, there's two things about me here. So first one is
I'm curious how Phil and you got together to do this podcast because Phil's not initiated and something that he got correct. I'll tell that story right now before you say the next one. So based on, you know, us interacting with some jokers before that were supposedly in the podcast game, because I'm not a technological guy. I'm a spiritual guy, and my wife is a businesswoman. So technology is just not our thing. So we tried to contract some people before Phil, and, you know, it got to the point where I'm like, I'm not going through this no more. So the podcast really almost never happened. And one day, I was actually going to a Nigerian restaurant that's down the street from the Botanica to get some ingredients like emu and whatnot. It's called Flavors. And I used to park at the end because I never liked parking like towards the other side because everybody's always leaving. And when I walked by, like subconsciously, my peripheral noticed the word podcast. And when I looked to the side, it said podcast doctor. I said, man, whatever. I walked into the restaurant, bought my stuff, and I was mulling it over the whole time. And when I came back to the car, I'm like, let me take a screenshot of this. I sent it to Erica, and we had a conversation that evening. Phil spoke well, you know, and I was like, well, let's see where this goes. And I think within a couple weeks, if not very soon, we were doing the first recording session, the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, here we are, 100,000 subscribers later.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it almost didn't happen. Sincerely, guys, like, we had some bad experiences, and I'm like, dude, I'm not dealing with nobody, but Phil has been a blessing and, you know, a consummate professional.
All right, and this was the other one from Colby here.
Awesome. What is the difference between Teja de Egun and Egungun? Have you ever seen Phil do the Macarena? Oh, my gosh. No, I have not, by the way.
Well, the reason why they are asking this is because, hold on, let me refresh this.
What kind of shenanigans are you involving yourself outside of our recording sessions, sir?
There you go. Watch.
Oh, my Lord.
Here, watch this, guys.
Oh, man. Whoa. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Go ahead. Oh,
it was for my podcast, but
Phil, are you Cuban? You did it, man.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
it's so bad.
Oh man.
All right, that's it. That's enough. That's enough.
With the thunder eyes, yeah. Hold on, I forgot the first. Everybody give a like for that performance right there.
There you go, Colby. Yeah, I rarely show my face.
I saw it now. I can't unsee it. Part of me wants to unsee it, but I think the question was the difference between the Teja de Egun and Egungun.
Yeah.
The thing is the Teja is not an Orisha in any shape, sense, or form. It's dirt that's been petrified or baked and is able to be mobile and transported and fed. It is legitimate though, because at the end of the day, there's minerals in there. There's natural material, but the actual Orisha Egungun is the icon. Right? And ironically, we just recorded the Egungun episode before this live. So it'll be coming out soon where I actually explain why and the difference as far as confection between Isheshe and Lukumi. So please be on the lookout for that episode because there's no way I'd be able to explain it better in a 30-second to a minute response than I did in the video. So please make sure you're just aware of that. You know, it's coming out very soon.
All right, here we go. This is from Black Sage. Hold Hold on. But
Black Sage, this is a replacement for the super chat about Osang. Awesome. Aburu Baba, can you speak about Omochango with Otura Bara, specifically about romantic relationships, marriage, and children? Okay. I'll be frank with you. It kind of goes back to that story where Shango, he would indulge in marijuana quite a bit. I mean, based on his habits, it stopped him or didn't allow him to be an accountable father and husband. So what we have to make sure that we as men do in our home is relinquish all selfishness. Everything is about our family. We will have our moments of introspection and solitude and peace, but it's very important to be present and accountable, because in that Odu, Shango was very stressed out by his home life, and he would just chief all day, trying to deal with his pains and his struggles. And it caused him to become really detached from his family, and because of it, his wife didn't trust him, because that's the one thing with women. The women have to trust their partner. They have to feel safe with their partner, and when they do that is when the man is present, whether it's that 4 o'clock feeding for the baby, whether it's I need you to do a lap around the world to make this function that I've been planning for weeks happen, or anything. We just need to be soldiers, and it's hard. It's hard because we're human beings. But remember that when a woman has children, the part that focuses on us is diminished, and the part that focuses on her children is inflamed with hormones. So where women are focused on children, men are focused on everybody other than ourselves at times. So we have to understand that this is part of the process as we create a family. And everything will stabilize. Everything will get back to normal. There will be moments when we will find that serenity again. But, in that Odu, Shango was having real difficulties assimilating married life and home life, and it caused him to delve into a habit that destroyed his home. So being present is 99% of the job.
And by the way, if you're a VIP member, I'll get Joseph to do the Macarena.
No, I'm not doing the Macarena. You can't pay me enough to do the Macarena.
Come on,
Nah. I'll do a rumba though. I'll do I'll throw a little wawanko in there, but I can't do the Macarena. I saw it too much in Hialeah. Dudes were in the Opalaka Hialeah flea market busting it down, and I can't do it, dog. Too many Christmases, dog. I can't do it.
Okay. All right, this is from KG.
Here we go. Olokun, can you please share your knowledge about Ofun Otura? Much gratitude. Gratitude to you. Ofun Otura, Ofun Onitola, Ofun Tempo, Ofun Tepola, Ofun Topola. These are all the different names. As far as Olokun, there's not a verse that comes to mind. Now, mind you, there's a bunch of different topics there. You have the Ireme Awakwa, which is there, which speaks of all the ancestors from Carabal, or Calaval, as we say, the Carabalís, right? The Quiñongos, the Eques, the Efos. It speaks of that whole religion and spirituality. Ofun Tebola ultimately should have an Ireme next to their Egungun icon, in my opinion. Apart from that, Ofun Tempola speaks of when Babaluaye resisted the 3 temptations of the devil to become Obaluaye, which meant king of the world rather than father of the world. In that sign, Oshun covered herself in honey to make herself fertile and desirable, as a woman. There's the famous medicine that everybody was doing during COVID to avoid the epidemics with the machete, if I recall. It's where the green coconut got bust open. The intelligence of Oya no Shosi. There's a couple different things. Now, mind you, Olokun doesn't jump out necessarily. But, it all depends whether the person's going to keep that Odu or not. Are you trying to do Ifa? Are you not? It really comes down to that, because that might not be your ultimate Odu. That might be why your guardian Orisha isn't that prevalent there. And there may be a verse, but as far as one that pops out, and I know that Odu pretty well, because that's the Odu of the ram, where the ram suffered consequences that had nothing to do with him, but being that he was around the wrong people, he got the charge and the execution rather than his friends. That's also the Odu of the snake, where the snake got killed in the marketplace. Maybe that's a euphemism for Olokun, the whole symbolism of the snake. But as far as Olokun, no. But all of that is information from your Odu.
Okay, people are saying they'll pay to see it, man.
Pay to see what, the Macarena?
Yeah.
Do super chats instead.
All right, here we go.
Alafia Baba, can you speak of Ika Otura? Ika Otura or Ika Paure or Ika Fogero is an Odu that does speak of Olokun. In that sign, it says that ideally we should not be in relationships with people who are significantly younger than us. So anything more than 10 years, taboo in that Odu. Ika Otura says the reason is because there was a man that fell in love with a woman that was much younger than him, and she was going to swim across the ocean, and he was going to follow her, but he got divination, and with Ika Otura, Orumila told him not to follow her because he was going to drown, but he couldn't resist her, so he did, and he ended up drowning in the middle of the ocean, and Olokun was like, oh man. So that Odu speaks of the importance of, compatibility, whether it has to do with age or not. So, Boru.
All right, we got another one here. Bagoo.
Boru boy Bochiche. Ekaleo. Good Yoruba there. Good evening to you. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for your patronage and your support. Any advice for a male Omo Elekba with Otura to you and a wolf hakang not crowned yet? My friend Nicholas, Otura to you, apart from my Odu, and apart from the Odus of my wife and children, is my favorite Odu. It is the Odu that I have most studied other than mine, my wife's, and my children's. If you are not crowned Elegua, please crown him as soon as possible. If you obviously don't have Ifa done and you have the qualities to do so, please do Ifa as soon as possible. Because that Odu speaks of when Oturatiyu came down from heaven to earth, and he was on a sacred mission to investigate other spiritualities and compare them to Ifa. And he actually learned Ifa before becoming a Bawalao, which angered Shango. Eshu, your guardian Orisha, seeing this, saw how things were manifesting, and it was time for Oturatiyu to go back to heaven, or the Ibodu Nifa, went and gave him his hand of Ifa with Orumila, and when it was revealed, Otura Irete was revealed, where Ifa said, yes, you're meant to do Ifa. But there's this theater that occurs where Shango tried to kill him, Ogun saved him, and Eshu was the one who facilitated him being able to go back home safely by appeasing Shango, thanking Ogun, and now fulfilling his destiny as Babalawo or priest. So, in my opinion, crown Eshu, do Ifa if you're able to. If not, be the best, spiritual professional or practitioner you could be. But your Odu is one that I adore. It's my sign backwards, Irete Suka and Oturatiyu were the closest of brothers, and there's many stories of them together. So, that's what I would do if I was Oturatiyu, personally.
Okay, here we go.
Can you speak on Osatrupong or Olokun? Absolutely. Osatrupong has to be one of the most important Odus that has to do with Olokun. It is where Aganaeri was born, where she was the famous sister that tried to kill the other ones. Olokun found out about it and had to chain her to the bottom of the ocean because she was ferocious. So that Odu says the person's going to have issues with their blood relatives immediately. From another standpoint, we have to make sure our children get along and we raise them with love and unity. This Odu says that if the person hasn't received Olokun, they should. In my opinion, being that you are a child of Olokun, I would crown Olokun direct. I don't know who's watching this live, but my criteria stays the same. Olokun can be crowned directly in the Lukumi tradition. If you want to do it in Isheshe and have the experience of Nigeria, you have that possibility as well. But in your case, I would not receive just the Olokun icon. Your first experience with Olokun should be crowning Olokun, period. And Osatrupong says it because, unfortunately, it's an Odu of instability emotionally, where if certain spiritual processes don't occur, it causes you to become adverse to your social surroundings. And that's what you don't want, because Olokun is characterized by solitude anyway at the bottom of the ocean. So crown Olokun direct, please.
Okay. You're from Barry.
Hey, Barry, can someone be crowned Odudua, or is he just received? You can crown Odudua. All of the Orishas can be crowned. It's all depending which traditions have the information. So, for example, if someone's like, hey, I want to crown at Gungung, I might send them to Isheshe because I haven't experienced or been exposed to the paperwork, possibly Lukumi, that can make that happen. I don't know if it exists. I wouldn't doubt it if it did, though. But Odudua can be crowned within the Lukumi tradition as well. Highly debated. We've had a couple, conversations with people who don't agree with us, but at the end of the day, there's various people who have crowned it direct in Cuba. One of them being Natalia Bolivar. If I recall, she was an anthropologist author, and she had crowned Odua direct, and this was 50 years ago, 75 years ago. I don't know, when, everybody was crowning Obatala, which is not wrong. But if you can crown them direct, please do.
All right, we got one from Ogunbi.
All right, can you state the importance of reverse Odu such as Ofumbile and Oshetura? So what I'm understanding is Irete Ofung or Oturashe. Like, what would be the significance of those backwards? The Omoiya, or child of the same mother, as is known, is how you identify the opposite Odu. So it's not that it's like your Odu perfectly, but you may find answers from that Odu in yours or yours in theirs. For example, if you read Irete Otura, it speaks of Eshulario, but the Pataki is nowhere to be found. But when I studied Otura Tiu, which is my Omoiya, the full story is there, and vice versa. So there's plenty of Odus that, are very, very similar when they're opposite. Like Obeyono and Ogunda Vede are very similar. Ochetura and Oturache have a lot of similarities. And so on and so forth.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Oh, there's so many. Someone named Itzama Esquivel said I didn't see their question, but
oh Lord.
While you do that, look at this one.
Can you make more videos about Eshu? What would you like us to make more videos about Eshu about? And we would love to. Eshu is one of those topics that can't make enough videos on them. So specific aspects, give us some ideas, and we'll make it happen.
Here you go. I think I found them.
Here we go. All right. Can you break down Osalobe, Baba? Oh, man. Very important Odu. One of the most important, one of the biggest, one of the most grandiose. Osai Lu Fobe Jo means Osa hits the tambor or the drum, and Obe dances. It's why the Babalawos can dance at the drum. It's also an Odu that speaks of the importance of entrepreneurship and being independent and not allowing people to slave you out. Because in that sign, Obe, or Eyobe, was utilizing Osa Lobe. And he was charging exorbitant amounts for Osa Lobe to play the drum and paying Osala Fobeyo pennies. So that Odu says, unfortunately, you have to be careful with somebody who's Baba Eyobe. And apart from that, it says that you have to be in control of your finances because somebody's going to try to do something devious or deceptive to you.
All right, it's from California T.
Here we go. When you say crown direct, does that mean they pick their own Orisha? What that means is, no, that means that Orisha was identified in their hand of Ifa, and that's the Orisha they initiate into. So for Orishas like sometimes Olokun, or Dudua, Babaluaye, Orisha Oko, Erinle, they'll try to crown either Yemaya or Badala or a similar deity to be able to take them through the process. And there are Odus that speak of this, But ultimately, what we've been able to find is that the most ideal situation is assimilating the Orisha that was asked and approved by God. So that's what that's referring to. Crown direct rather than crowning somebody else to get similar effects.
All right, here we go.
Any info for my mom? Obedi Omo Oshun. Of course. Shout out to mom. What an Odu. That Odu says that she has to be very careful transporting herself or being alone. That Odu is where Oshun was attacked, and it's an ugly story. But basically, what happened was Oshun was left in the nude based on the attack, and Yemaya clothed her to protect her honor. Right, they were sisters, and there's the famous. Suires moda sesuon Maya, and so on and so forth. That's in Obedi, where Yemaya clothed Ochun with the herbs. So obviously Obedi is an Odu that speaks heavily of Ewe, or the herbs. It's where the morning dew descended upon the grass, taking away the negativity that Oro had placed upon Osang. So that Odu says that, with mom, we have to be careful. I don't know what stage of life she's at, but we have to make sure that, she's capable of taking care of herself and that she's always in a situation to be safe. I'd love it if she was armed somehow. It speaks of the importance of her relationship with her siblings, and maintaining strong bonds if we're able to. That Odu says we have to be very careful with the skin and nerve damage and whatnot because, everyone's like, oh my God, Oshun was in the nude. It wasn't that. It could be a metaphor for neuropathy, sensations in the skin, loss of feeling. She has to be very private about her business and her life so that, things that we don't want revealed aren't. And she has to bathe with herbs, for sure. And that Odu, bathing in Omiero, is really great for Obedi. Everything with the herbs, and she should plant plants and things like that. That saved Obedi's life a couple times. Shout out to Mom.
Okay, this last couple ones. Lucia's texting me 911, so something's happening. So
okay,
there you go.
Can you touch on the Odu on throwing themselves face down as a male and female crowned, vice versa? Absolutely. So in the Odu of Baba Turameji was where women would throw themselves flat on the ground and their menses would rub up against Mother Earth and she didn't like it. And men would throw themselves to the side and she wasn't able to come in contact with their anatomy. And she was annoyed by that because she wanted to come in contact with it as a woman. And, she started cursing everybody. Divination was performed. Babao Turameji was revealed where Orumila and Mother Earth stipulated, regardless if you're crowned, regardless if you're just identified, the children of male or female Orisha, doesn't matter. If you're a male, you salute face down. If you're a woman, you salute side to side so that men's anatomy always comes in contact with Mother Earth, thus making her tranquil. And female's anatomy never comes in contact because she didn't appreciate it. So that's in Babao Turameji, why men throw themselves face down and women throw themselves to the side, regardless of tradition, Orisha, or status.
Let me look. Hold on. This is from Celestial. Last question here.
Okay, here we go.
Last one there, because I gotta. Looks like something's happening at my house, so I gotta.
Yeah, understandable. No, it's retracted. They didn't put anything.
No, the very, very.
Oh, I'm
last
sorry.
one.
Can you speak on the process of receiving Ori because we are born on
this earth
with our Ori? So when you receive Ori, obviously you're born with Ori or your head. What you're gonna receive is your Ile Ori icon, which is basically nothing more than an icon that is going to symbolize you having fulfilled your celestial debt with your destiny or Ori. It does not replace your head by any means. But basically, you need a babalawo. There's processes involved, etc. If you're interested, highly recommend doing an Ifa coaching so we can go over the specifics and possibly we can make that happen for you. All right, brother?
Yeah, I don't know. Something's happening at my house.
Understandable.
Wife is giving me the 911 text saying help, so I don't know what's happening. So,
Yeah, definitely.
So yes, let's get out of here.
Awesome. Well, guys, we love and we appreciate you. Definitely hit us up. Members, classes, Botanica candles, and more. You know the deal. Until next time, see the light.